Zolthar, a tall, slender figure with iridescent skin and eyes that shimmered with intelligence, came from a highly advanced civilization known as the Corvins. Their technology surpassed anything known to humans, with a society dedicated to exploration and knowledge. Zolthar, a prominent researcher among his people, was tasked with investigating the myth of Earth, the so-called Deathworld. Legends told of a planet where inhabitants were ruthless, and the environment was perilous. Driven by curiosity and a sense of duty, Zolthar prepared for his journey to uncover the truth. Zolthar's ship, a sleek, silver craft capable of bending space-time, began its journey to the distant planet. The vessel's interior was a marvel of Corvin engineering, filled with advanced instruments and a navigation system that projected holographic star maps. As Zolthar navigated through the galaxy, he reviewed the sparse data available on Earth, noting its diverse ecosystems and unpredictable weather patterns. The ship entered Earth's orbit, and Zolthar peered down at the blue and green planet, intrigued by its beauty. Using his ship's technology, he donned a human disguise, altering his appearance to blend seamlessly with Earth's inhabitants. Touching down near a top-secret research facility, Zolthar's ship remained cloaked, hidden from human detection. He emerged, now appearing as a human scientist, his features unremarkable but convincing. Zolthar approached the facility's entrance, presenting falsified credentials that claimed he was Dr. Zane Harris, a specialist in extraterrestrial biology. The guards, after a brief inspection, allowed him entry, and Zolthar stepped into the heart of human scientific research. The facility buzzed with activity, a labyrinth of sterile corridors and secure labs. Zolthar's keen eyes took in every detail: the tight security, the array of advanced human technology, and the strict protocols in place. As he moved through the building, he made mental notes of the layout and security measures. The humans here were focused, driven by curiosity and ambition, much like his own people, yet there was an underlying tension, a sense of secrecy. Zolthar's first interactions with the staff were cautious but calculated. He was introduced to Dr. Emily Carter, a leading researcher known for her work on extraterrestrial organisms. She welcomed him, her demeanor professional but inquisitive. They exchanged pleasantries, discussing their supposed shared interest in alien life. Zolthar's fabricated background held up under her scrutiny, and he was granted access to the facility's various research projects. As days passed, Zolthar meticulously built his cover identity, blending into the routine of the research facility. He observed the scientists' dedication and their relentless pursuit of knowledge. Yet, beneath the surface, he sensed a darker purpose. There were restricted areas, guarded and off-limits, which piqued his curiosity. Zolthar's mission was clear: to uncover the truth about these humans and their treatment of extraterrestrial life. Zolthar's initial observations confirmed that Earth was indeed a complex and dangerous world, but its inhabitants were not so different from his own. Driven by the same thirst for understanding, they were capable of both great achievements and profound cruelty. As Zolthar delved deeper into the facility's secrets, he knew he was on the brink of discovering something that would change everything. During his downtime, Zolthar began covertly exploring the research facility, keenly observing the various labs and high-security areas. He moved with caution, his advanced senses allowing him to avoid detection. The facility was a maze of sterile white corridors, punctuated by heavily reinforced doors and security checkpoints. Advanced human technology was on full display, with biometric scanners and surveillance cameras covering every corner. Zolthar's attention was drawn to the areas marked as restricted, where only a select few were allowed access. As he ventured deeper, Zolthar noticed a pattern in the facility's operations. Late-night activities and secretive meetings were common in these restricted zones. He observed scientists entering and exiting these areas with a sense of urgency and secrecy. Equipment and supplies were regularly transported under tight security, raising Zolthar's suspicions. The more he saw, the more he was convinced that something significant and potentially sinister was happening behind those doors. One night, Zolthar discovered an inconspicuous entrance to a hidden section of the facility. Utilizing his advanced technology, he bypassed the security protocols and entered the restricted area. What he found inside confirmed his worst fears. Rows of cells lined the walls, each containing an alien being. The captives were a diverse collection of extraterrestrial species, all in various states of distress. Some were restrained with heavy chains, while others were subjected to painful experiments. The atmosphere was heavy with the stench of fear and suffering. Zothar was horrified by the inhumane conditions. The aliens were malnourished, their bodies bruised and scarred from constant abuse. Medical equipment used for experiments was scattered around, covered in traces of alien blood. Zothar's heart ached for these beings, who had become victims of human curiosity and cruelty. The sight of a young alien child, trembling in a corner, solidified his resolve. He could not stand by and let this continue. Zothar's mission had taken on a new dimension. He was now committed to helping these captives escape their torment. Determined to expose the truth, Zothar began gathering evidence. He used his advanced devices to record video and audio of the experiments and the conditions within the cells. Each recording documented the horror and brutality inflicted upon the aliens. Zothar meticulously documented every detail, knowing that this evidence was crucial to bring an end to the facility's operations. He faced significant risks in doing so, as any mistake could lead to his discovery and capture. During his investigations, Zothar had several close encounters with the facility staff. On one occasion, he narrowly avoided being caught by a security guard during a late-night surveillance. The guard's suspicion was aroused, but Zothar managed to evade capture by blending into the shadows and using his advanced cloaking device. Another time, a scientist questioned his presence in a restricted area. Zothar had to quickly fabricate a plausible explanation, relying on his wits and the strength of his cover identity. Despite the dangers, Zothar persisted. He knew that the evidence he was collecting would be instrumental in bringing justice to the captive aliens. Each recorded piece of data was a step closer to exposing the facility's dark secrets to the world. Zothar's dedication to his mission and his empathy for the suffering beings kept him focused and determined. His actions were guided by a deep sense of responsibility and a commitment to right the wrongs he had uncovered. As he continued to gather evidence, Zothar's resolve only grew stronger. He was more determined than ever to liberate the captive aliens and put an end to the facility's cruel experiments. His journey was fraught with peril, but the stakes were too high for him to abandon his mission. Zothar's discovery of the hidden section had set him on a path of resistance and rebellion, one that would challenge the very foundations of the research facility and its operations. Zothar meticulously reviewed the data he had gathered. The evidence of cruelty and suffering was overwhelming, but it also provided valuable insights into the facility's operations and security weaknesses. He identified the shift changes, security blind spots, and the times when the facility's defenses were at their weakest. These details were crucial for formulating an effective rescue plan. Zothar knew that timing and precision would be key to the success of the mission. He then carefully approached a few human staff members who he sensed might be sympathetic to his cause. His first target was Dr. Emily Carter, the researcher he had initially befriended. In a series of discreet conversations, Zothar gradually revealed his true identity and the horrors he had discovered. Emily was shocked but convinced by the undeniable evidence. Her empathy and scientific integrity made her an invaluable ally. She agreed to help, driven by a newfound purpose to stop the inhumane practices she had unknowingly been part of. Next, Zothar approached Mark, a security guard who had expressed doubts about the facility's ethics during a casual conversation. Zothar carefully chose his words, presenting the evidence in a way that appealed to Mark's sense of justice. Mark was initially hesitant, fearing for his job and safety, but Zothar's earnestness and the undeniable truth of the evidence swayed him. With Emily and Mark on board, Zothar had the beginnings of a team. Conversations with each ally were detailed and strategic. Zothar ensured that Emily and Mark understood the risks involved and the importance of their roles. Emily would provide access to restricted areas and medical care for the rescued aliens, while Mark would handle the security systems and guide them through the facility's defenses. Establishing trust was paramount, and Zothar's sincerity and the gravity of the situation solidified their commitment. With his team assembled, Zolthar turned his attention to the practical aspects of the rescue. They gathered the necessary tools and resources, including medical supplies, hacking devices, and equipment to disable security measures. Emily secured blueprints of the facility, and Mark obtained key codes and access cards. Every detail was meticulously planned, from the timing of their actions to the escape route they would take. Zolthar outlined the plan with precision. The rescue would take place during the night shift, when security was laxest. They would begin by disabling the security cameras and alarm systems, using the information Mark had provided. Emily would then unlock the cells and provide medical assistance to those in need. The team would move quickly and quietly, avoiding unnecessary confrontations. Zolthar emphasized the importance of contingency plans. If they were discovered, they had alternate escape routes and protocols to ensure the safety of the aliens. As the day of the rescue approached, tension built within the team. They knew the operation was high risk, and any mistake could lead to catastrophic consequences. Zolthar's calm demeanor and confidence helped steady their nerves. He reminded them of the stakes and the lives depending on their success. The night before the operation, they gathered for a final briefing, double-checking their equipment and reviewing the plan one last time. The team was ready. Their commitment to the mission and to each other was unshakable. Zolthar's leadership and their shared sense of purpose had forged a bond that would carry them through the challenges ahead. As they prepared to embark on the rescue, each member was acutely aware of the dangers, but also of the profound impact their actions would have. They were not just rescuing captive aliens, they were striking a blow against injustice and cruelty, paving the way for a better future. As night fell, Zolthar and his allies set their plan into motion. The facility was quieter, the perfect cover for their covert operation. Mark began by disabling the security cameras and bypassing the alarm systems, using the codes he had acquired. Emily waited at the entrance to the restricted section, ready to unlock the cells. Zolthar, in the lead, signaled for the team to move forward. They navigated through the facility's maze-like corridors, avoiding patrolling guards with precision. Reaching the first group of captive aliens, Emily used her access card to open the heavy steel doors. The aliens inside, weakened and fearful, looked up in confusion and hope. Zolthar reassured them, speaking in a universal dialect understood by most intelligent species. Emily provided quick medical assessments, while Mark kept watch. Within minutes, the first group was free, moving stealthily towards the predetermined safe exit. Their initial success bolstered the team's confidence as they proceeded to the next group of captives. Suddenly, a security breach was detected, and alarms blared throughout the facility. The quiet night shattered into chaos. Guards rushed toward the restricted section, weapons drawn. Zolthar and Mark took defensive positions, using advanced stun weapons to incapacitate the guards without lethal force. The corridors echoed with the sounds of conflict, shouts, footsteps, and the discharge of energy weapons. The team moved swiftly, using cover and strategic maneuvers to protect the freed aliens. The facility's defense systems activated, deploying automated drones armed with non-lethal but incapacitating weaponry. Zolthar directed the team to split up, using diversionary tactics to draw the drones away from the escape route. Emily continued to guide the captives, providing reassurance and medical aid as they moved. Mark hacked into the facility's control systems, creating temporary safe zones by disabling drone pathways. Despite their efforts, the relentless defense systems pressed on, making each step fraught with danger. The final push to escape was the most perilous. The team converged at the main exit, where a heavy security detail awaited. Zolthar and Mark launched a coordinated attack, using advanced technology to create a smoke screen and disorient the guards. Amidst the confusion, Emily led the captives through the exit. They encountered several close calls, narrowly dodging stun blasts and evading capture. Zolthar's quick thinking and superior combat skills turned the tide in their favor, but not without cost. Heroic actions defined the escape. Mark took a hit to protect an alien child, while Zolthar faced down a security drone to buy time for the others. Emily, despite the chaos, maintained her composure, ensuring no one was left behind. The team managed to reach their extraction point, where a cloaked vehicle awaited to transport them to safety. The escape was successful, but the mission left them with casualties and harrowing experiences that would not soon be forgotten. Breathing heavily, Zolthar surveyed the freed captives. They had endured immense suffering, but now had a chance at a new life. The team's bravery and solidarity had prevailed against overwhelming odds, marking the mission as a bittersweet victory. Zolthar and the surviving aliens reached a temporary refuge, a secluded location provided by one of Emily's trusted contacts. The place was secure and hidden from the facility's reach. Immediate care was given to the rescued aliens, medical supplies were used to treat their wounds, and efforts were made to address their psychological trauma. Emily and Zolthar worked tirelessly to ensure each alien received the attention they needed. The once prisoners now rested, some for the first time in days, finding solace in their newfound freedom. As the situation stabilized, Zolthar took a moment to reflect on the mission. The events had far-reaching implications not only for the rescued aliens but for his own people and humanity. The brutality he witnessed had confirmed some of the worst fears about Earth, yet the courage and compassion of his allies offered a contrasting perspective. Zolthar planned to report back to his civilization, presenting the evidence and advocating for a more nuanced understanding of Earth. He realized that despite the dark aspects, there was hope for cooperation and mutual growth. In a discussion with Emily and Mark, they contemplated the future of alien-human relations. The mission had been a catalyst for change, demonstrating that humans were capable of both great cruelty and great kindness. Emily expressed a commitment to push for ethical reforms in the scientific community, using the evidence to campaign against inhumane practices. Mark, having witnessed the plight of the aliens firsthand, vowed to support this cause and protect any extraterrestrial beings he encountered. Their resolve strengthened Zolthar's belief in the potential for positive change. As preparations for departure began, Zolthar promised to return with reinforcements. His people would come to aid in the care and relocation of the freed aliens, ensuring their safety and integration into a more welcoming environment. The mission's success had inspired many humans who learned of it. Whispers of reform and better treatment for extraterrestrials began to circulate. Zolthar's actions had sparked a movement, one that could lead to a significant shift in interspecies relations. Before leaving, Zolthar exchanged heartfelt farewells with his allies. Emily and Mark were hopeful yet aware of the challenges ahead. Zolthar's departure was not an end but a beginning, laying the groundwork for future collaborations. As he boarded his cloaked ship, the promise of return and the prospect of a more just and empathetic coexistence hung in the air. The story hinted at future adventures and struggles, with Zolthar at the forefront of a new era of understanding and alliance between his people and humanity.